Hi, I'm Kevin Otis.
I'm Kim Shively.
We are the authors of Applied Meisner for the 21st Century Actor, and we're here today to talk with you about point of view. So, Kim, help us understand what point of view is and why it's useful to actors.
Yeah, it's point of view. We have come to define it as a highly specific, emotionally evocative phrase that encapsulates the lens through which the character sees their world, their situation, or the other person. And what that means is that it's really, if you think about putting on a pair of glasses, it's putting on that pair of glasses and letting that determine how you see the world. So I always think of the point of view as like coloring everything else that happens. I talk very differently to my mother than I do to the love of my life. But what's interesting is that the love of my life could be the best person in the world in 1 minute, and then the next minute they could be really disappointing. So the reality is our relationships with one another are fluid. They change moment to moment depending on what's happening. And the point of view really provides that foundation for how the character sees what is happening and how they respond to it. So when we talk about action, we're talking about the how, how are they getting their need met? And we talk about need, it's like, why are they doing it? When we talk about point of view, we're really talking about what is it they're doing? How does it look? The example we give in the book, I think, is we talk about like the parent being the judge at one moment and then like
Mhm.
the amazing life giver in the next. Because the reality is that's what happens. So in literature, in scripts, and really good writing, every character has a point of view. They have a way that they see the world. And so we have some questions to help us figure out what the character's point of view might be. And we started off with like, what is that world point of view? Is the world a stingy place or is the world a generous place? Is the world safe or is the world dangerous? And even as we just talk about it, when I start to think about the world being a dangerous place, it's like I immediately, my behavior changes, because if the world is a dangerous place, I have to be on guard.
Yeah.
And so what can usually happen is if the world is a dangerous place, then that point of view gets encapsulated into this little phrase that I can remember. My brain goes to it quickly. And it's like, you have to be on guard at all times. Nowhere is safe. Versus someone who is really, the world's a very generous place, it's incredibly safe. And that person might wake up every morning just waiting for opportunity. There's opportunity around every corner. I just have to leave my door and I'll find it. And the reality is most of us like live in that place, between those spectrums, but characters have very specific points of view. So we're really getting into the analysis of how does this person see the world? How do they see the other person? Because that's going to determine exactly how they behave and how that other person changes in a scene.
Yeah, I think it's interesting what you just said about how point of view can change, right? Based on the behavior of the other person. Like you gave the example of the parent, right? Where in one situation, they're like a judge, and then in the other situation, it's like they're this amazing affirming presence, But I was thinking about the world point of view, or what you said about the world point of view. I was thinking like, how I feel. My world point of view is different on a Monday morning than it is on a Friday night. And, even though I'm more or less the same person, but the way I'm seeing things is definitely affected by, by how how I'm feeling, and, or what's happening during the day. Um,
You're making
you
me
know,
think about that
I-
the thing in the independent activity when we start moving into the history of the relationship, and one of the things we talk about so often is what time is it emotionally? And so
Mhm.
what time it is emotionally is often totally linked into developing that point of view on the world. But the point of view on the world just gives you that opinion about everything. Because the reality is we all have opinions about things. We learn though to suppress them. But when When conflict happens in life, when there is dramatic tension, that's when the opinions come out. That's when how we feel about things happen, is when the stakes are raised. And so it's really important, for specificity's sake, that we're very clear about how we see the other person, how we see
Mhm.
the world, and that can then color how we see everything else. But again, it helps us keep things really specific. And it also helps connect us into the scene, to the other person, to the action and the need. That point of view, I often encourage people to really find that point of view on the other person first, even before the need. We can have a general understanding of what the need is, but we've got to be really specific about who that other person is to us.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Thank you, everybody. Check us out on Instagram. It's 21C Insta. And then,
21C Actor Insta.
yeah, or on Facebook at 21C Actor, or check out our website, www.21cactor.com.
And do it for real, everyone.
That's what we say.